Patrick here, and today I'm going to tie up a salmon fly. It's a variant of Peter Charles' Nightdancer. Uh, it's basically the fly that he tied on his channel, Hooked for Life, CA fly fishing. So I'm going to change things around a bit. That specific fly has a red tail. It's got a black body and it's got a purple hackle in front and it's got a black wing. The fly I'm going to tie today is a bit different. And used silver mylar as a ribbing and a tag. I'm going to change it up a bit today. My thread I've got is a Union 80. I've got some this is 140 denier orange fly tying thread, which I'm going to put in a tip as well. For a wing, I'm going to use this purple yak braid. For tail, I'm going to use brown partridge fibers. And yeah, let's see. For a hook, I've got a size. I've got this. Let's see here. This is a size 4 salmon hook, 2x, that I've got from Temu. You'll see it's just got a normal up eye. It has no return. So just be aware when you tie with these sort of flies. Just a bit of a difference in technique when you're putting on your wing. This yak braid is quite a good material when you tie it in. It's not as slippery as some other materials, like for example pine squirrel and grey squirrel tail. But yeah, and the last thing, let's just see, take it out of the packet here. I'm going to be using this red saddle hackle as a collar. I'm going to tie it in a rat style. Alright, let's get going here. Put on some thread here. Go back to, I flattened the barb here, but basically where the barb is. Now I'm going to go all the way back to where the barb is, barb of the hook. And I'm going to take a bit of thread down because I want to start my tip at the barb of the hook. Right, go down, not very much. Okay, now I'm going to put in my tinsel. The rib is golden crystal flash. That's what I'm using as my tag and my rib. Take this forward. Give it quite a bit of a tag here, not too large. tie it down. I'm going to tie this forward to more or less where my tip is going to end. So I've got my tag in here. I'm going to tie in the tip. Let's bring this camera a bit closer here. You guys can see what I'm doing here. Okay. I'm just going to put in a piece of 140 denier orange flat tying thread. It's quite a dark orange. Normally when I tie these sort of flowers, I normally like a bright orange, but this is what I've got. So you can also use a UV orange if you want to. If you really want the flower to stand out. And I'm going to end my tip between the barb and the point of the hook. Okay, I'm going to take this up again. Just rinse, just put this tinsel to one side. I'm going to give this orange thread about 3 passes here, just to make sure that the olive doesn't show too much. Great control here. This is a fishing fly, so I'm not too concerned about it looking like a piece of art. There we go. Take this back now. Tinsel. There we go. There we go. Wrapped around once, twice, more times. Okay. So you can see now I've got my tag and my orange tip. For the body I'm going to use this black yarn. Okay. We're going to tie in our tail now. I'm going to take one of these hackles here, partridge hackles. Let's just see, show you guys these brown variety hackles here. I'll be targeting yellowfish with this fly, so I'm not going to tie it too sparsely. I'm not going to overdress it either. I can just show the feather there. Now, normally, if I were to be tying this for trout, I would just take the one side of fibers to make the tail. But in this case, I'm tying it for yellowfish. Yellowfish don't mind the bulk, so I'm going to use fibers from both sides. Okay. I don't want to use too much. Put the two sticky tail, putting a loose wrap there and tighten it down. Changing the top of the hook there. There we go. That's, my tail is almost to the end of the hook there. Some of the tails I tie are longer. I like to tie them sometimes double the length of what I've tied them now, and then in some flies I tie a very longer wing that meets up to about to the edge. So normally my tail is a bit longer than this, but this will do for the purpose of this particular fly. Okay, I'm just going to trim that down. I'm not too worried about the smoothest underbody here because I'm going to be using yarn. This is 3-strand synthetic yarn that you can get at a craft shop in black. Yeah. And you'll notice I've taken the yarn all the way to the front there. Because this hook doesn't have a return, you don't have the luxury of having that flat surface to put down your wing. So yeah, you want to just build up something there that you can tie up your wing against. I'm going to tie my body. I'm going to unravel it so I can put it on as flat as I can. And I'm going to go down, touching wraps all the way down. I'm going to come back. Unwind it, constantly unwind it to make sure that you again I'm taking it to the front here. As I said, these salmon hooks that I got from Temu don't have the return. I just want something a little see. As you can see, it's going to build it up a bit, obviously not too much. But anyway, I'm going to just give it 3 passes, give it some sort of body here. I'm going to really start flattening things out here, front. Yeah, going to. So there we go. Do note that I've taken the body quite up front here, and I've done that on purpose because I haven't got a throat. I'm going to put on a collar, so that is why. I'm going to give myself some room here to make my head. I could have made my head a little smaller, but when I started tying flies, I used to make big heads. So if you're uncomfortable with the spaces in tight head space, give yourself a big head. There's nothing wrong with that. So anyway, I'm going to put in the tinsel. Tinsel is not that long. I'm going to give it about 4 reps, I think. Okay. There's a 5th rep there. Doesn't look very nice. Okay. It looks a bit better. Right. And here we're getting bump there. Yet again, I'm not too worried about the exact measurements of my rib here. This is a working flower, fishing flower, not a work of art. Anyway, all right, now for my yak braid. Yak braid is a very nice material, but it's a pain to prepare though. It's an absolute pain in the butt to prepare. I'm going to put on quite a sparse wing here. There we go. Right. There's the wing. Now, I'm going to put on the wing, and then I'm going to cut it off at the end there. Let's see here. Okay, that's quite a head here, I must say. I didn't think it was. But yet again, as I said, it's if you're uncomfortable with tight space at the head, make a big head. Cut it off there. I do it like this. If I was tying this for trout, I think I would have tried, I would definitely tie it with, let's say, like a craft fur or something that's got pointy ends on here. Yellowfish don't mind all of this blunt end there. But if I were tying this for a trout, I would certainly take something like a razor blade, a flat razor blade, and just fray the points out here a little bit. Okay, that's all. Okay, and let's just see here. We've got a stray here. Cut that. That's all. Now I've got the red saddle hackle here. I want reasonably long fibers, longish fibers. Alright, so tie this in by hand. I do use hackle pliers on the occasion, but if I can wind up a hackle by hand, I'm quite happy to wind it up by hand. So this one will be winded up by hand. There we go. I'm going to put on quite a bit. Again, if I were tying this for trout, I would tie this a bit more sparsely, this front collar here. But as I'm tying cooler fish, if this was a trout fly, I'd put max 3 turns. I think this is about 5 easily. I'll put in here. As I said, the yellowfish don't mind the bulkier flies. I'm going to tie this back, or back like that. Now so it goes quite a way back. Two stray fibers here. Really clinch it down here. Okay. Check that that is all okay then. Yeah. All right. Let's just clean up the head here a bit. Not too much. One thing you've got to be careful of the salmon hooks that have a return on them have normally quite a bit of space at the top of on the eye here. They've almost got like a loop there. These salmon hooks that don't have the return can be very unforgiving. So just be what's the space there. You don't cover up the eye of the hook with your fly tying materials. Let's just get the gonna whip finish this. Get one whip finish there. go. Alright guys, that's my variation, if you can call it that, on the Nightdancer. I'm not quite sure what it calls like, but yeah, I think it will work for yellowfish and trout. I think trout will love this actually more than the yellowfish, but yeah. There you go guys. All you have to do now is just put a bit of varnish or head cement on there. Alright guys, until the next one.